Kasabian Clubfoot, and you're now listening to Dan and Phil on Radio 1.
BBC Radio 1.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. It's Monday, the 2nd of February, and you know what that means?
What, Phil?
Happy Groundhog Day, everyone. Happy Groundhog Day, everyone.
Okay, I get it, Phil. That is an absolutely terrible joke. Congratulations.
But it's appropriate.
Yeah, today is Groundhog Day, a.k.a. Candlemas, apparently. Yeah, it is also the first Monday of the month at 9 p.m, which means you're listening to Dan and Phil on the Internet Takeover on Radio 1. As well as playing you some of our favourite tunes tonight, we will, of course, be doing you the internet news, the 7-second challenge. We've got Phil having a crack at predicting the weather later on, so you can look forward to that. And as well, we will be announcing a really, really exciting event.
Yes. As always, you can watch us live at bbc.co.uk/Radio 1, where you can check out Dan's brand new face tattoos.
I don't have face tattoos, he's lying.
I just wanted people to go on the website.
Oh, well, just in case they weren't.
Yep.
Yeah, get online.
And our next song is chosen by me. It is Joy Division with Love Will Tear Us Apart. Love Will Tear Us Apart on BBC Radio 1. I wasn't alive when that came out, but I saw it in Donnie Darko, the movie.
Oh, yeah, it was in the Donnie Darko soundtrack.
Yeah.
That song really, that movie really scared me. I think, how old is that now? Like,
it's pretty old.
I think I watched it when I was about 10, so I'm just having terrifying nightmare flashbacks of, what was it, Frank the Bunny?
Yep.
Good times.
It's got baby Jake Gyllenhaal in it.
It does as well.
Less buff.
Slightly less buff than he does now. I just want to point out, that was an absolutely unacceptably terrible pun you did at the start of the show there with the repeating of the Groundhog Day.
But it is Groundhog Day.
It is.
Where the groundhog predicts what the weather is going to be.
Supposedly. But I don't think that's a real thing that happens,
It's
but
also
people do it.
an excellent movie with Bill Murray where he's doomed to repeat the same day over and over again. And that got me thinking, what would I do if I had to repeat the same day over and over again?
What would you do if you were literally given eternity to repeat the same day?
Yeah.
I don't know. What would you do, Phil?
I thought I would play every video game that is on offer in the entire universe.
Given the ability to have literally infinite time, you could learn every language.
Okay.
You could solve all of the math problems that are binding our universe. You would play every video game.
All right, I'll win the lottery and play every video game in a bath of gold.
But then you'll have to get the bath of gold every day again, Phil. You've already forgotten the rules.
I'll spend it every day.
Okay, what a great use of the power playing games.
Well, I would like to ask you, what would you do if you were stuck eternally in a time loop? Why don't you tweet us with hashtag if I was in a time loop? That would be nice.
You've actually managed to make a conversation hashtag that's relevant to a really obscure holiday.
Thanks.
That's quite impressive, Phil. Okay, that is hashtag if I was in a time loop. Tweet us with that now and we will read out some of your eternal life suggestions throughout the show. So well done with that. And now I am going to play my favourite song from the new Fall Out Boy album, which has a sample from the Munsters. This is Uma Thurman on Radio 1.
Get to bbc.co.uk/Radio 1 now to watch the Dan and Phil show on Radio 1.
That was Fall Out Boy with Uma Thurman.
I've just got weird images of Pete Wentz dancing with Frankenstein.
Is that a reference that anyone will get?
Well, it's the Munsters.
I've never seen the Munsters. How old is this
My
show?
grandparents always used to watch it, so I'd watch the Munsters, and that is the theme tune that they play in that song.
Your grandparents used to watch it?
Yeah, it's that old.
Victorian era show. Okay, I'm guessing your grandparents watched it when they weren't kids.
Yes.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Anyway, it is awards season again, and yet again, internet news has been snubbed by the Golden Globes.
Are you implying that internet news is better than Fargo and True Detective?
In its own way, Dan.
Oh, what, like outstanding achievement in cat pictures?
Yes.
I think we'd be up for that one.
Well, let's go over to Dan and Phil in the news story for the weirdest around the world.
This is the Internet News.
Internet news.
The strangest story of the week comes from Delaware, Pennsylvania in the USA, where a man, for unknown reasons, put a load of potatoes down his toilet.
What?
Obviously, this blocked his toilet, and after his building contractors failed to respond to his calls, he called the fire brigade. The entire building was evacuated, and then, unsurprisingly, the man was arrested. Presumably for being a massive idiot.
What was he even doing?
I have no idea. Why would you do that?
What is the logic behind that? Maybe he was trying to make a new YouTube channel. You know, like, will it blend? Will it flush?
Oh my god, that's amazing. That's the only thing that hasn't been done yet.
I think I would secretly watch that if that was a thing.
We're doing that when we get home.
What is something that wouldn't flush?
I don't know, like a giant rock.
A large cactus?
Cat. This is a terrible idea. Don't do that at home.
Internet news. Funny text of the week comes from 19-year-old Marcus Gray, who went out to a party on Saturday night and texted a mate to see if he was coming out. Nothing funny about that, of course. No. But of course, when he got home, he saw the text and replied to himself, saying, "Nah, mate, I'm home now." He woke up in the morning, posted it to Twitter, and soon received over 11,000 retweets and 15,000 favourites.
That's a lot of favourites. I mean, people are always looking for signs to realise that they've had too much to drink. I think when you end up texting yourself, that's probably a good sign to maybe, like, put down the WKD.
Or maybe he's imaginary friends with himself.
That isn't something that I'd have thought of, but a good theory.
Like, my brother had an imaginary friend that was a dog called Lasagna. So maybe he's just got a friend that looks like him.
I love hearing about your family.
Internet news.
And finally, you may be aware of the work of a YouTube channel called Barack's Dubs, where Barack Obama is dubbed into pop songs, and the latest dub is possibly the greatest that the guy has ever done. Here is Barack Obama doing Uptown Funk.
Girls, hit your hallelujah. Girls, hit your hallelujah. Girls, hit your hallelujah. Come uptown, I'm gonna give it to you. Come uptown, I'm gonna give it to you. Come uptown, I'm gonna give it to you. Saturday night, and we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch.
That was the internet news. Now back to Dan and Phil in the studio.
The Internet News.
Thanks, Dan and Phil.
You should definitely check out that full Obama video, though. It is hilarious.
It will change your life. I think there should be an official remix with Barack Obama covering it.
Yeah. Anyway, we met Charlie XCX again for the second time.
She's a cool chick, isn't she? We had a good time hanging out with Charlie.
Yeah. I wore her sunglasses.
She offered to give you her sunglasses after like 2 minutes of being in the same room as her. Phil, you have a way.
I've got this thing where if I meet a celebrity, I just want to take one of their accessories. Like if they've got a feather in their hair, I'll just want to take it out of the hair.
That is a great way to get a lot of restraining orders, Phil.
Maybe it's a nervous twitch. I don't know. Anyway, she was really nice about it. So I thought I'd reward you, Charlie XCX, by playing your new single.
Okay.
Doing it. Oh, yeah, Rita Ora's in it as well. Charlie XCX featuring Rita Ora with Doing It.
Well done, Phil. I mean, like, what, playing people's music as an award for them giving you their personal accessories? I feel like that's a gross abuse of your power as a DJ, Phil.
I'm going to get quite a collection.
You are, aren't you? Please put me on the playlist. Only if you give me your clip. Yeah. I can see that now, Phil. It could be a good horror movie.
Oh, thanks.
Anyway, so today is Groundhog Day, and of course, we only know that for the really good Bill Murray movie in which he gets stuck in an eternal time loop repeating the same day. So, we are asking you, what would you do if you were stuck in a time loop? On Twitter, we asked you to tweet us with hashtag if I was in a time loop, and here's what some of you said.
Neve said I would eat the same cookie over and over again and never have to buy a new cookie.
I just realised that food.
Yeah.
You could just eat food and you'd never get more fat than you are. I
guess.
You could spend whatever money you have ordering every kind of takeaway, forget your video game thing. I just realised food.
27 pizzas.
I could just go on a rampage in a supermarket. That'd be amazing.
City of Fans said, I'd learn what surds are so I can pass my maths GCSE. I did a maths GCSE. I still don't know what surds
No
are.
one knows what surds are. It would take an eternal time loop to work out what the heck surds are.
They sound really
I think.
gross, don't they? Inside the sewer, you will find the surds.
I
That's what I was
definitely
thinking.
think that's the case. Yeah.
Gelatinous creatures in a Final Fantasy game.
Okay, what did Jana say?
She said, I'd buy 48 kittens and they'd save kittens forever, except the next day you'd have to go buy them again and they'd forget who you were.
Oh,
that's a sad tale.
Oh no, you'd fall in love with the kittens, but the kittens would never fall in love with you. Ooh. That's tough. I mean, that's the real danger of time loops there.
I've just got that feeling, Jeremy, you want to put two twins in separate rooms and do weird things to them. I've just got that kind of... I've got that kind of feeling again. I won't say any more.
Stop everything. Okay, I'm going to say this one. And our next one comes from Little X Lay, who said, if I was in a time loop, I would tweet this again and again until you read it out. Don't let me down or I'll never escape. In an alternate universe somewhere, we just freed her from her hell.
Maybe
There we
she
go.
is in the time loop and this is making her day every day.
Wow, Phil. You're just full of profound little nuggets in this show, aren't you? This is great. Please keep them up.
Thanks. We'll keep those coming in with hashtag if I was in a time loop. Now, it's time for my high score song on every karaoke game in the world.
It is.
It is Panic at the Disco with 9 in the afternoon.
And for anyone watching online, you can see us having some punk edits done to ourselves. Enjoy.
Panic at the Disco, 9 in the afternoon, which is kind of confusing as 9 is in the evening.
Well, I mean, 9 in the afternoon isn't an actual time, so I don't think that's the thing.
Okay.
Dan and Phil, they escaped from the internet and climbed into your ears.
So, today we are talking about what would you do if you were given the gift of eternal time by being stuck in a very Groundhog Day-like time loop. People have been tweeting us with hashtag if I was in a time loop. Phil, why don't we interact some more?
Related to the punk edits, Hufflepuff Ruby said, I would get loads of tattoos and then they'd be gone by the next day and I'd know which ones would look good and get new ones over and over again.
Wow, so you can kind of like perfect your look for the time you come out of the time loop. That's good.
Similarly, Pika said, I would dye my hair every single colour and then I would be able to see what it looked like.
And then you'd never get people going, oh, you're ruining your hair every time you dye it.
Did you not like your red hair in the punk edit video?
I don't know. No, I don't think I pulled it off.
The internet loved it.
What, really, the red hair? I feel like red hair was a bit Rihanna 2010 then.
I saw someone get hashtag Dan should have red hair tattooed on them.
No, they didn't.
They did.
That's
no,
not
they
a
didn't.
thing.
Everyone was saying
for a
that.
moment I was like, that would be a really terrible decision.
Or fan would they'd eat their body weight in chicken nuggets. I think everyone would probably do that.
They'd eat their body weight in chicken nuggets. That is aspirational.
Unless
I
they
love that.
were a vegan. McHowley said, I would eat every food in the world simultaneously whilst listening to every song in existence. That sounds like a nice existence. And Radioactive Mix said, I would learn to build a time machine and /or a teleporter. So not both, just one or the other.
And /or a teleporter.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you'll have enough time to work that out, won't we?
Yeah.
So thank you for those. That's quite good. This is an interesting discussion. Can we get back onto the topic of what Groundhog Day is actually about?
Furry rodents.
Actual furry rodents. Yeah, we decided to celebrate this incredibly important international holiday with a science experiment. Can our Phil predict the weather? Let's find out. On the 2nd of February every year, in many places around the world, there is a kind of weird tradition where a groundhog comes out of hibernation, and if it sees its own shadow and runs back into the burrow, it means that place will have 6 more weeks of winter. This is known as Groundhog Day. Or Candlemas, apparently, but I don't know, that's kind of weird. In the American town of Punxsutawney is the world's most famous groundhog, Punxsutawney Phil. Here in the UK, unfortunately, we don't celebrate Groundhog Day, but we do have a Phil. Phil, you have quite a lot in common with strange rodents.
Yes, I do.
Do you have any psychic powers?
Well, my grandma was psychic. She always predicted things in her dreams, so I'd like to think she passed it on to me a little bit.
You had a psychic grandma.
Yeah, sometimes I can tell if the milk's going to run out. I dream that the milk runs out, and then it runs out.
Okay, this will be our experiment. Phil will be blindfolded, and at the end of the corridor will be 2 weather balloons representing sun and snow. Whichever he is destined to walk towards and pick will predict the UK weather for the next 6 weeks. It'll probably be just as accurate as normal weather prediction, to be honest. Choose the weather. That was the kitchen door. Okay.
This is the whole...
The groundhog is walking towards the destination. Destiny is in front. Okay, he seems to have picked a balloon. He's going for it. Jeez! Oh my god, I hate balloons.
Snow!
And there we have it, UK. 6 more weeks of winter.
I'm sorry.
Please direct any complaints to at Amazing Phil on Twitter. Happy Candlemas! Well, there you have it. Science.
I quite enjoyed being a groundhog. Should we do that every year?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Should we actually make you the centre of a UK celebration predicting the weather?
I wouldn't mind being lifted out of my burrow and having a look at my shadow.
Well, we'll see whether winter is yours or not, because if so, then you're going to get a lot of hate mail, I think.
I'm a little bit excited as well. I want London snow. We haven't had any snow.
You and your blinking up north relatives are like, I can't even see the roof. And then, don't know what that accent was. I'm really sorry.
That was offensive.
Either way, I'm in London and I'm sad because we haven't had any coldness.
Just a dusting, please, gods of the weather.
Well, if you didn't like that news, then let the sound of FKA Twigs with her new single soothe your soul. Here is Pendulum on Radio 1. That was FKA Twigs with Pendulum on BBC Radio 1. Speaking of FKA Twigs, at this event that we saw Charlie XCX, FKA Twigs was there, and I was walking through the building, and I saw her backing dancers being spray painted to look like lizards.
That's intense.
And I was kind of taken back because I was like, what am I looking at? And then I made eye contact with the guy that was being spray painted. So imagine you're in a dressing room, right, and someone's holding the door open because there's people walking in and out, and then you've got your arms in the air shirtless being spray painted, and then you see Dan on the other side of the door holding a camera just staring at you, and I was like, no, I was, okay, bye, I'm sorry. That was weird. Yeah, I don't think she'd give me any of her accessories.
No.
So, the time loop thing, is anyone saying anything?
Yeah, May said, I would become a hamster and run in a wheel forever.
Wait, what?
I don't think you've understood that, May.
Just because you're stuck in a time loop, May, doesn't mean you have the power to just transform into a hamster.
No.
That would be a whole other question if we were to bring that up.
Or maybe she does have that power and she'd just use it every day.
Yeah.
We don't know. Bunkers Bambino said, that was a great name, I would tell people... No, that's not what I'm reading. It moved down the list. Supremacy fan said, I would flirt with someone in a different way each day to see their reaction.
So you could just walk up to someone and try every cheesy pickup line.
Yeah.
Maybe you get slapped, maybe you have a drink poured in you, but then there's no lasting shame.
True.
You could spend eternity just working out what the all-time perfect pickup line is. What a great service to humanity that would be.
I think I got flirted with the other day, which never happens. Right.
Is this a story? Here we go.
There was a lady in an office that I'd gone to, and she was the receptionist, and I was speaking to her about the appointment that I had. Anyway, just as I was leaving, she looked me in the eyes and said, "You're too pretty for me." And I was like, that's such a strange thing to say.
No,
she did. She said, "You're too pretty for me."
And then what?
I didn't know what to do. I just went and walked off. That was my reaction. I'm smooth. I'm like James Bond.
You literally, made someone speechless. You blew someone away, Phil.
Yeah, but I brought it crashing down to earth when I just giggled in her face.
So someone in a moment of pure, unspeakable romance just went, "You're too pretty for me," and then you went, "Yeah, so thanks, bye," and then awkwardly left the room.
Yeah.
Nice. Good way to handle that.
It's
Great.
a boost of my self-esteem.
Excellent. Well, we also, as well as other people, met James Bay, didn't we?
Oh yeah, I didn't steal an accessory from him.
No, but he does have a great hat, doesn't he?
What is beneath the hat? I was thinking exposed brain.
Well, like Pharrell, I suspected an exposed brain behind that hat for a long time.
Probably. Anyway, it turns out he's quite a good singer. So let's have a look at him in the live lounge singing Holding Back the River.
Dan and Phil on BBC Radio 1.
That was James Bay, Hold Back the River. I promise I will never steal your hat if I meet you again.
And it is now time for the most intense per second radio feature ever invented.
The 7-second challenge.
So, Phil, you were pretty rubbish at this last week. Was it the first challenge you failed on?
You made me spell something backwards. That was impossible.
I asked you to spell challenge backwards. It is written on so many screens around. I was like, this is an easy opening one. Just whack straight off the
I've
bat.
been awake practicing in the dead of night, spelling things backwards, so I'm ready now.
Can you explain to any unfamiliar radio listeners, what is the 7-second challenge?
It's very simple. We get 7 seconds and we challenge each other to do things within those 7 seconds. And then if you lose, it's over straight away.
Fairly simple game. But high stakes, as the winner gets to play a kind of ridiculous wildcard song that wouldn't usually get played on Radio 1. I really, really want to play the song that I picked this week, so I'm going to be trying slightly too hard.
I'm not going easy on you, Dan.
Okay. Are you in the zone?
Yeah, let's do this.
Right, Phil, I'm going to go first. Prepare for your first challenge.
Okay.
Phil, touch your toes and then high-five me 3 times. Okay.
I only took like 4 seconds.
Wow, you had time to spare then. Right, you're
Right,
one.
Dan, spell February.
February.
No, that's wrong.
No, I spelled it. Give it to me. Give it to me. Come
Producers
on.
Vic and Simon, was that okay?
I didn't have a break. Come on, didn't have a break.
I think I sounded wrong.
No, it didn't have a break. Come on.
Okay, you can have that. You did
Nodding
correct yourself.
faces.
Oh.
That was on the line. I'm the judge, jury, and executioner. Okay, Phil, are you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, find Lily Allen laughing on our sound effect board.
What? That's impossible. Lily Allen.
Oh, where is it? Oh.
That was so close. Can we hear that again?
Yeah.
I made her make that sound.
We have like 50 irrelevant sound effects, including doorbell, woman screaming.
What is that?
A vuvuzela, apparently. So you did very well to find Lily Allen laughing there.
That was horrible. I nearly wet myself. Right, Dan.
Yeah.
Make up a rap about groundhogs.
Groundhogs. You got to... they're not lost and found hogs. The great weather. Woo, yeah. Word.
No, that was bad. Everyone's shaking their head in the room. Yes.
Phil, you are the winner.
Oh, that feels so good.
What do you rhyme hog with? That's
Dog?
impossible.
Log? Frog?
Groundhog. Better than a dog. Oh, God, so many things now. Well done, Phil. You get to play your wildcard song. Would you like to introduce it for everybody?
Yeah, you know how they say if a song is in your head, you should listen to it to get it out of your head?
That is a thing.
This entire week, S Club 7 Bring It All Back has been going round and round in my mind.
So now you want to put it into everyone else's heads for the rest of the week.
And if you're in the car, you know you want to sing along. It's S Club 7. S Club 7, bring it all back to you.
You can thank Phil for that being in your head for the next month.
Yay.
This is
BBC Radio
1.
Okay, so we said earlier that we would have some very, very exciting event-themed information to announce, and we can do that now. Are you excited?
I'm excited.
It's kind of a big thing, isn't it? So, as part of Radio 1's Anti-Online Bullying Week, at 9 p.m. on Thursday, the 12th of February, Phil and I will be joined by Charlie McDonnell, Jack and Dean, Tom Scar, Patricia Bright, Jim Chapman, and Sprinkle of Glitter for an epic internet takeover special about tackling online bullying and negativity. We are going to share some of our stories about stuff we've seen on the internet and talk about the things that we all go through online and what we can do to help ourselves block out all the trolls in our lives, as well as what we can all do to make an internet a nicer place for us to spend, let's face it, pretty much all of our time.
Excitingly, the chat is going to be filmed in front of a live audience at 4:30 p.m. on Thursday, February the 12th, and we have a small amount of tickets available.
Yeah, only a few.
Yeah, only a few. How can you get them, Dan?
You can get them, well, it's, okay, right, so you go to the link that we're going to tweet on Twitter now, at BBCR1, or go to bbc.co.uk/Radio 1, and there'll be a link to it. After 24 hours, when you register, all the names will be put in a ballot, and you will be emailed if you manage to get a ticket to the show. You can only enter once, so don't do it a million times, okay? We have posted the link on the social media now, so good luck getting there, and hopefully we'll see some of you in the audience, and if not, 9 p.m. on Thursday, the 12th of February, it is going to be a giant YouTuber explosion all about making the internet a better place. So we hope that you can join us and get involved and that you will enjoy it. Thank you very much.
I'm excited about it.
It should be pretty... all of those vloggers in the same show.
Yeah.
It's an hour long. It's going to be like the biggest collab ever. Thanks, radio, for making it happen.
And it's a really important thing that I think more people should be talking about as well.
Totally, I agree too.
That is great.
So now I would like to play Sia's new song, which I love quite a lot. I mean, anything's improved with the cheeky cameo from Shia LaBeouf, isn't it?
Definitely.
So that's always true.
He's in the background of our show just waiting to pop out.
Shia LaBeouf is not in the background of our show, but here's Sia's new song, Elastic Heart, on BBC Radio 1. Sia with Elastic Heart on Radio 1.
It's time for the listeners to get involved. This is Dan and Phil on BBC Radio 1.
Now, obviously, if you were stuck in a time loop, you just watch the internet takeover over and over and over and over again.
Obviously, the only valid answer
Yep.
is that if you were reliving this day, you'd be here every 9 till 10.
But some people obviously were going to do that, but they've included some other options as well.
Okay.
Elise said, I would not make eye contact with a guy being spray painted to look like a lizard, Dan.
that doesn't even make sense in the context of the conversation. You just it's really rude. Okay.
Katie would want to become the ultimate Pokemon master and collect every single Pokemon in the world.
Some people just do that anyway.
Yeah, in about 24 hours. Chloe said, I would make Dan practice his northern accent. Can we have...
Yeah, this isn't just like hashtag have a go at Dan, people. Okay.
Can we have you saying, hey up, I would like a cup of coffee, please?
Hey up, I'd like a cup of coffee, please.
That was good.
Go away.
Elise said she'd learn Japanese with a bunch of other languages.
Oh, that was Japanese first.
That's a good one. Lucy would get talented and become more famous than Beyonce in a single day. I don't know what you'd do to do that.
I think that was my favourite. If I had 24 hours stuck in a time loop, I would get talented. I'd get talented and become more famous than Beyonce. What talent could you get that would allow you to become more famous than Beyonce in between the time it would take you to get that talent and to get really famous?
I don't know.
Cup stacking.
Cup stacking would be a good
Viral
one.
video. Yeah, that's what I'd do.
We inspired P Fan, and she wants to go become S Club 8 after joining S Club 7 at a concert.
Isn't it already in S Club 8?
Yeah.
It's hard to keep track.
And a final sass for Dan. Kawaii Fan said, I would spell February right.
Okay, maybe you did deserve that one, but it's okay. I gave you the justice in the end.
Anyway,
it was all fine.
You know I said Shia LaBeouf was hiding in the corner of our studio?
Yes.
Well, I got Shia LaBeouf confused for someone else.
Oh,
come join us,
we have a special
mystery guest.
Those of you who watched our show all through 2013 and 14 may remember this guy. It's Alid.
Hello.
Hi.
Not just Alid, but editor Alid. Congratulations!
Thank you very much. This is a terrifying thing.
This is weird.
Alid is our new boss, which is a kind of like a strange dynamic to our relationship. So it was like 2.5 years ago, we were like, play Operation with us when we were doing a link, and now you could fire us at any moment.
I feel like I should be launching surgery lines or something. There's no surgery, so I can't.
Nothing to talk to, but are you going to fire us after today?
No, definitely not. No, one of your fans did send me an email with a picture of me dressed up as a hot dog when it was, and I'm thinking that's not how editors should look. That's really bad.
That's okay. We all know how professional you can be.
That's my favourite Alid moment, the hot dog moment.
Me too, actually. Yeah. But don't tell anyone, it's fine.
We're very happy to have you as our boss. Please
keep doing it.
So thank you.
Thanks
for having a cameo. Remember that this time next Monday, it will be me and Phil giving you our online safety documentary. And on Thursday at 9 p.m, it is going to be the giant Radio 1 Internet Takeover special. So make sure you're listening to that. And now, to close out, the most perfect thing that exists for annoying, snooty classical rock fans is Kanye West and Paul McCartney. Here is Only One on BBC Radio 1.
You've been listening to Dan and Phil. Next up on Radio 1 is Hugh Stevens, but first let's get the latest headlines from Newsbeat's Jim Connolly.
This